You guys ever bought one of these hoses from Temu, especially the blue one? I purchased one recently and it broke on me. Basically, the inner tubing of this hose is made out of plastic, a little bit of rubber material and plastic combined. So if you ever notice it basically just start to burst on you, it's ripped, it's leaking from anywhere on the hose. Basically, you can just cut it. So wherever it's ripped at, you can actually fix it yourself. So this hose is actually very cheap material. That's the reason why it costs about $7, $8 the way it does. Though the convenience of this hose is that it expands as water feeds through it, and basically it just becomes a little bit smaller as water dissipates from it as well. Basically, so when you turn off the hose actually when you turn off the water from its source, the hose basically cringes up and becomes a lot smaller. So I'm gonna explain to you guys what I mean by that. Basically, this hose expands as you feed water through it, whether it has a nozzle or not. So basically what happened to this is it ripped, it tore. When I was using it, I noticed that this portion was bulging. Water was starting to bulge out from it. And as I continued to use it, obviously I couldn't be fast enough to turn off the source from here. So it bursted. Obviously I got wet. Did get a refund for this, but I noticed that, you know what, instead of just tossing out, let me see what I can do to fix it. So what I did was basically this is connected right inside along with this portion that kind of holds it in place, and along with this sleeve. So once it's in there, you can basically cut it off and fix it. So what I mean is, what I'm gonna do is show you guys how to fix this where this tear is. So I took off the sleeve from here, so I'm gonna fix it. So I pulled out the blue portion of the outer sleeving. This might actually push it back up, so you worried that it'll burst again, you could just cut this blue piece off. But what I'm gonna do is pull the sleeve all the way down, cut it from where it's been torn up. So I'm gonna do that, put the source back in this spout. So I'm gonna pull this down the sleeve a little bit more, try to force this in there. So you want to force it all the way up to where the threads are, just to prevent it from slipping out. So push your little cloth sleeve up and push this inwards. Want to just kind of fix it a little bit. You don't want to force the sleeve all the way up, because then again you want a little bit of portion to stick out. So it shouldn't be like that. It is a little bit difficult. So you want to do, pull the sleeve down a lot more and try not to feed it all the way up. And it is quite difficult considering that this is made out of cheap material. So you want to kind of adjust a little bit, little by little. And now you force it out. So that's what you want to get out of this. So it's perpendicular, even the way it is. So this basically just goes back up. Put the sleeve a little bit upwards. So you want to push this blue sleeve up as well, all the way to cover this portion. So it is a little bit difficult because of the fact that it's in the same dimensions as the rest. So just try to get it as much coverage as possible. So you want to pull this back inwards. Just be careful not to pull too much out of it. So you're gonna do, if you want, you could push it more up. That way it kind of holds it more in place and have it closer to the threading. and upwards. So you want to twist it back on in its place. So want to get a little bit more. This is just to keep the hose from breaking apart again, bursting. So all that pressure that's being pushed in here, of course, is the back pressure. So once it does that, the rubber part will start to expand and it will burst. It'd be nice if it was a little bit bigger in this proportion. Obviously it's not. So what I'm gonna do, just gonna tighten it back up in its place. It will most likely come off later on. I know it will, but basically this is how you can fix it. So instead of just tossing it away, I know you can definitely get, you know, your money's back from Temu. Why not try to fix it? You know, it's just a waste, and you know, just purchasing another one. Okay, so let's test it out. Just a little bit. So this will start to expand as you put more pressure hose. There you go. Perfect. It's working. So you want to keep the water running continuously, because then it will backflow, causing it to rip again, causing this to happen. Well, hopefully you guys liked the video, and you know, hopefully that helped to fix the solution. That way you guys don't have to toss it. All right.